All right, today we're talking about how to train your team to deliver spinal hygiene. So building a system that your team can run consistently. Most systems don't fail because they're bad. They fail because the team, number one, doesn't understand it. Number two, maybe they're not confident in teaching it. Or number three, it's us, the doctor's the only one running it. It might be because we think we're the only one that can, or we're just not good at delegating, or we're not good at teaching, right? So we've got to be able to be the leader and then delegate and teach the system. When this comes not just to implementing spinal hygiene, but all systems in our office, we got to try to better delegate, better teach, better implement the systems with the whole team instead of it just riding on the shoulders of the doctor. Our goal is not that the doctor explains spinal hygiene all the time, even though we can. The goal is that the team reinforces spinal hygiene every day. And I want to be clear, like when I say spinal hygiene, this is a term we're talking about lifetime spinal care. So this incorporates not just the home care, the spinal hygiene kits, but it's weekly adjustments when they're moving into wellness. It's, taking care of that spine for a lifetime, whatever it takes. This makes our practices stronger, helps us build retention, helps us build community in the office, helps us fulfill our purpose because we're teaching true lifetime spinal care. I believe that's what chiropractors are supposed to do. So we might get patient that comes in for neuropathy, signs up for a neuropathy plan, comes in for knee pain, signs up for a knee plan, but they're constantly while they're in here getting this education and this uh, just this they're in this environment that's showing them the importance of spinal health and lifetime spinal care so that when they even if they're a knee patient that started care, when they get to the end of that care plan, they're maintaining that through adjustments, and we're starting to make check their spine and getting them under chiropractic care, and that's building the strength of our office long term. So there are three levels of team training and understanding. Number one is just awareness. Like they've heard of lifetime spinal care, they've heard of spinal hygiene. Unfortunately, some teams haven't even got to level one. Level two is that they understand it, right? We're our team are understanders, so then they can take a patient from just a believer to an understander also. So we got to be understanders first. So our team knows what it is. And then level three is really where we want everybody on our team to be, and that's ownership. So they talk about it without even being told. They're telling the patients, asking the patients if they're doing their home care, you know, answering the patient's questions without the doctor even having to be there to teach them or tell them what to do. And we want everyone on level three. The mistake that we make is we try to just train everybody at once and we only do it once, or maybe we do it that one time and we over explain it so our team doesn't really remember what we're talking about. We don't spread it out consistently over time. Or we expect our team to just instantly buy in. This is something that it's a long term, not just for our patients, a long term educational process, but for our team members. This is a long term educational process. They didn't go to chiropractic school, so we're constantly teaching them the philosophy of chiropractic, the ideas of spinal hygiene, why the spine is important to take care of. I know a lot of us in our offices here at A Better Way, we've had team members that have been there for a long time, have been there for years, and that's awesome because now those team members are, they're at level three, and we should have those level three team members helping us get other team members that are only on level one or level two up to level three. So if we're not training our team properly over time and consistently over time, we get confusion, inconsistency, and then we drop off. We're not teaching our patients lifetime spinal care on a day-to-day basis. So we want to create a simple training model in our office that covers these three steps. Number one, we want to teach our team the concept of spinal hygiene. Number two, we teach what I call scripting points. If they understand these points about spinal hygiene, it's easier to understand the concept and it's easier to teach the patient. So we'll talk about what these scripting points are. And then number three, is just repetition, right? Practice and repetition, talking with patients, doing it on a daily basis, asking how, things are going in our pre-shift huddles, just getting those simple wins. So let's talk about step one, right? Just teaching our team the concept of spinal hygiene. So our team needs to know what spinal hygiene is. They need to know why it matters and how it helps patients. If they don't believe in it, then they won't be able to communicate it. So spinal hygiene is not just that patients come in when they're in pain and they get adjusted. It's just like in dental hygiene, we do things at home to take care of our teeth. So we give them a spinal hygiene kit to do things at home every day. And then they have a chiropractor on their health team that they can come in and get checked for subluxation and get adjusted. And that matters because that nervous system controls every function of the entire body. Our team should know that as well. And it helps patients because now they can implement it as part of their lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, so patients can age better, be healthier, have less degeneration in their spine because they are practicing spinal hygiene. And then that leads us into step number two, which is teaching our team these scripting points. And I've just put a couple here, but the more we understand spinal hygiene, the more we'll be able to share these scripting points. These three right here are huge. And I would love when I hear my team members talk about this. So, I tell patients if your teeth are important enough to do something every day for, your spine absolutely is. And I even make a joke sometimes. I say, don't tell your dentist, but your spine's more important than your teeth. Don't tell your dentist I said that. But it's true. If your teeth are important enough to do something every day for, which 99% of our patients brush their teeth every day, so they're doing something every day, then your spine's important enough to do something every day for it as well. That's the first scripting point that we want our team to understand. Number two is just like your dental hygiene prevents tooth decay, spinal hygiene prevents spinal decay or spinal decay and degeneration. We know and science studies show that a spine that has proper biomechanics, that's alignment, mobility, and strength, that has proper biomechanics is less likely to break down. That's just Wolff's Law. Wolff's Law says stress points are going to cause buildup of calcium. That's bone spurs, right? So we want our patients or even our team to understand that. And then this is a big scripting point right here that I go back to all the time, and we want to mention this when we're teaching our patients about their spinal hygiene exercises, is that spinal hygiene helps us to maintain three areas of health in the spine: alignment, mobility, and strength. And that's the patient's responsibility. If they can maintain alignment, mobility, and strength between their visits, then they can hold those adjustments better and longer. They can prevent arthritis and degeneration better and longer. And those are the concepts we want to be able to introduce to our team. Make sure our team understands those scripting points or those concepts so that they can teach our patients as well. Keep it short, keep it easy. It doesn't have to be a script. That's the reason I call it a scripting point. Excuse me. It doesn't have to be a script that they memorize. It could just be a understanding that they get, right? That light bulb that goes off. Step three, we want to see our team practicing it in the office, not just explaining it to us during, pre-shift huddles, but maybe we role play a little bit with them and then we ask them, hey, introduce this concept to somebody today during the shift. Like have your front desk person, hey, when someone comes up here, ask them if they're doing their spinal hygiene exercises, tell them it's important to maintain, alignment, mobility, and strength between their visits, right? Just have them kind of talk to patients. Our rehab tech should be doing this over and over and over. Our CAs can do this all the time, and we should be doing this at the tables too. So repetition builds confidence. We understand these concepts. We start communicating it with patients, and the more we communicate it, the better we communicate it, the more confidence our team starts to build. So where does the team reinforce it? Everyday touch points like check-in, therapy area, before the adjustment, after the adjustment, and even during the adjustment. So small moments equals big impact, and we just need to be aware of it, that we're creating these small moments in our office throughout the day. For the doctors, we need to make sure we have some kind of a table talk system. And I know I'm guilty as anybody. I just get to talking about everything when we're at the table, but it's simple to bring it back to spinal hygiene, and all we have to do is say, hey, how are your spinal hygiene exercises going? And that one question can drive compliance, it can drive retention, and it can build connection between us and the patients. And I love this spinal hygiene system because I always know what my patients are doing, what exercises my patients are doing. I talked to a doc, a chiropractor the other day, and he uses a certain, web platform that which is great, don't get me wrong, but he gets some kind of prescription based off of every posture that they do, and then finds different, like 12 different exercises on this list of thousands of exercises, and then they get sent to that patient. And then every time that patient comes in, he's like, I have no idea what I actually gave them. I kept to look it up. I'd have to log into my software every time a patient came up to the table and try to figure out what did I give this person to do so I can figure out if they're doing it or not. So our spinal hygiene system is simple, it's easy. I can ask them, are you doing your spinal hygiene exercises? And I know exactly what they should say and exactly what they should be doing. Because we want to create a daily habit loop, right? Patient success comes from reminder, action, reinforcement. And our team controls the two outside factors of that. We control the reminder and the reinforcement. It's up to the patient to take the action. So if they're on a 28 visit care plan, which we do a lot in our offices, several times through that 28 visit care plan, they should get asked, are you doing your spinal hygiene exercise? Because it reminds them, then they take action. And then if they are doing it, it reinforces that action. And that's how we can help patients create a habit of taking care of their spine for a lifetime. And when we create patients who see the value in taking care of their spine, we're going to be creating patients that are retained, that are stay with us for life. And over time, we're building a practice that is strong. It's fun to go to. We get fulfillment out of it. That's really what, in my opinion, what it's all about, doing what we do. So things that we want to watch for, some red flags, is inconsistent delivery. If not everybody on our patient list is getting a kit, we need to do something about that. So if they start a care plan, they should be getting a kit. Patients that they get confused, right? So we want to make sure that every patient is entered into that 21-day challenge, because they're going to get a video every day for 21 days that teach them these concepts. So they'll be getting it from us in person, but they'll also be getting it daily through their email. And even if they don't watch all 21 videos every day, they watch some of them, they're going to pick up these concepts. And then we need to see if is the doctor doing everything. Your team should be running spinal hygiene, not you. Like, it's up to us to kind of oversee it, do some table talk, but our team should be the one that runs spinal hygiene. Okay, so weekly training check-ins, we want to keep it simple. Maybe this week, or maybe every week, we pick a day where we're going to, during our real quick 5-minute pre-shift huddle, we're going to share a spinal hygiene concept, or maybe even just a chiropractic philosophy concept, right? And do a little bit of teaching with our team and practice those scripting points every week. We don't want to overwhelm our team. I'm not trying to create a new task or job that you have to do. I'm just saying, bring it up during the pre-shift huddle. Hey guys, um, you know, did you know that the atlas is one of the most important areas of the body, that the brainstem comes down into that area? And when we adjust people's atlas, we sometimes can affect their rest and digest, their homeostasis, their balance. That would be some kind of a cool little training that we did. Maybe it's spinal hygiene focused, and we say, hey, did you know that patients that do their spinal hygiene exercises can hold their adjustments longer? That's one reason we need to check in with them, right? Just little things that we would do. Takes 2 seconds to mention it at our pre-shift or post-shift huddles, and can keep our team on track and learning something every day. So it's our job to be the leader. Our job is to reinforce the importance of spinal hygiene and teaching that to our patients. It's to model the language and be able to, share those scripting points, and praise consistency. When we see our team talking about spinal hygiene to a patient, and we didn't ask them to do that, it's just during a shift, man, we need to say, hey, Misty, great job talking about spinal hygiene with the patient today. We need to do more of that. Good job. Or maybe correct quickly whenever someone mentions, I've had team members, they don't understand spinal hygiene fully. They say something that's wrong that we shouldn't be doing, and I'll just go up there and say, hey, great job doing this, but here's what I would actually say, right? That's the job of a leader. That's our role. what success looks like. We know it's working when our team talks about it naturally. When patients even bring it up first is a good sign. Our compliance increases, so more and more patients are doing it, and they're staying, and they're referring. And then retention. Our retention improves, and we'll be tracking that. And we talk about that on our Friday calls that we do, tracking everything. So remember, systems don't grow practices, teams that run systems do. All right. So thanks everybody for being on the training. We're going to talk more about some statistics around that, how we track those statistics. We want to be able to make sure that every person that starts a care plan is getting a kit, and then be able to track how many of those people convert to wellness. That helps us to determine our retention. But if we don't have these systems, these educational built-in systems teaching people why they need to take care of their spine for a lifetime, if we don't have those systems built in, then that's going to hurt us on the back end when we're trying to measure how many people actually say, you know what, this is important. I'm going to convert to wellness. And yeah, some people convert to wellness because they're just scared. I don't want that pain to come back. I get it. But others, they're out of pain within their first 12 visits. They're coming in because they want spinal correction. And then we show them how well they're doing at the end of their care plan. And they're like, hey, I feel better. I'm doing better. I'm able to do things I want to do. This is a great lifestyle to have. How do I keep this going? And those are the people that we're going to build, lifetime relationships with in our office. Okay. Thanks everybody. And then I'll stop the training here.